Welcome to the FM Connection Content Creators Predictions, where we get some of your favourite content creators and we ask them for their predictions for the weekend games. It's a bit of fun. We're going to do a little league table. Who can get the most right at the end of the season? Who actually knows what they're talking about? Who can walk the walk rather than just talk the talk? It'd be very interesting. They've given up a lot of time today, so all their channels will be in the description below. So please go check them out. Enough said. Let's get into the predictions.
What do you mean 2 points? 2 points? No. They were all perfect predictions. No, if you're saying that, I'm not playing. No, I'm going. No, I'm not playing. No, they were all perfect. Fine. I'll do it now. Hello there. My name is Anders, and you can find me at that side. At that side there. Find me at Anders Baz FM here on YouTube, over at Twitter. All the usual places you can find me there. This is back to some more predictions. I did great last time round. Got 2 points. Brilliant. Anyway, today's fixture list. Right, we've got Villa versus Southampton up first. Both teams are in decent form. Saints are probably slightly better, but their away form is lacking a little bit. So I'm going to go with a draw, I think. 1-1 here at Villa Park. Moving on to game number 2, it's Burnley versus Chelsea. So you know, because it's Burnley, I'll be going with Chelsea. And incidentally, I think they'll probably win anyway, regardless of my bias. They've been playing well recently, and I'm going to be looking to firm up their top 4 place. Game number 3, Newcastle versus Brighton. So unsurprisingly, Newcastle have been a much better and more confident side since January, and I think that's going to continue here, especially at St James's Park. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Newcastle victory at home. Then we've got Coca-Cola Cup winners Liverpool against West Ham. West Ham might be massive, but Liverpool are in massive form, and they're buoyed by that Coca-Cola Cup victory. So I think they're going to take it and probably keep the pressure on City as well. So I'm going to go 2-1 once again to Liverpool. And then finally, Wolves versus Palace. Wolves are the better side, but they're on a poor run of form, so it's a difficult one to pick. If we were at Selhurst Park, I'd probably be tempted to back Palace, but we're not. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. So to recap, Villa 1, Southampton 1, Burnley 0, Chelsea 3, Newcastle 2, Brighton 1, Liverpool 2, West Ham 1, Wolves 2, Palace 2. There you go. They are the winning predictions. We are bound to get full marks. 15, I think, if it's 5 games, 3 points for perfect scores. What more do you need? Perfect. Right, I'll see you again next time. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hello people, I'm TaylorMadeGaming, back at you once again with another round of Premier League predictions. So, we are starting off with Aston Villa versus Southampton. Both teams coming off 2-0 wins at the weekend, so this makes it a difficult one to predict. But I'm going to go for an Aston Villa 2-1 win. I think Aston Villa have got a better squad than Southampton nowadays. I can see Villa getting past Southampton sometime soon in the league table. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Aston Villa 2, Southampton 1. Next up is the easiest game of the weekend to predict for me. It's Burnley versus Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, third in the Premier League. Burnley just a little bit lower in the league. I think they're in the relegation zone as this is recorded. So I'm going to go for a Chelsea 2-0 win. Nice, comfortable, easy. There's a bit of drama around Chelsea at the minute with the ownership, but I think they've got enough to win this game nice and comfortably. Newcastle versus Brighton now, and well, Newcastle are on one hell of a roll. That investment they've got has definitely saved them from relegation. They should be looking at mid-table, if not maybe 10th, 9th, if they can keep this run going. So I'm going to go for a Newcastle. You know what? I'm feeling confident for them. 3-0 Newcastle. Come on, you Geordie boys. Here we go, the game of the weekend for me. It's my club, West Ham United, going up against Liverpool. Always a good game between these two clubs, I find. There's never any boring 0-0 games in this fixture. Liverpool, of course, are unbeaten in God knows how many games. We're going through a little bit of a sticky patch, I think you could say. I think we did well getting the win at the weekend. It might only have been a 1-0 win, but it was important that we got it. It was important that Soucek got the goal on his birthday as well, so a little bit of a bonus for him. We, of course, have got arguably our biggest game since the FA Cup final against Liverpool in 2006 on the Thursday after this game, as we travel over to Sevilla to play Sevilla in the Europa League. It's going to be a massive game. I can't believe West Ham are in a game against Sevilla, who have dominated the Europa League in recent years. I've got no idea what to predict for West Ham against Liverpool. We need a performance, but Liverpool are very good. Do I go heart? Do I go head? Sod it. I'm going to go heart because everyone else is going to be predicting a Liverpool win. So I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham. Soucek off his knee again. That's what I'm going for. Come on, you Irons. Last game of the weekend, it's Wolves versus Crystal Palace. And, well, Wolves, of course, lost to my team, West Ham, last weekend. But there wasn't a lot in it. I think we was quite lucky to get out of it with a win. And so, Wolves against Palace. Palace are not doing very well at the minute. Wolves are still looking for that Europa League place. They was saying on Sky Sports the other day that Wolves are in the race for the Champions League. That I don't agree with, but I think they're definitely in with a chance of getting a Europa League spot for next season, and I expect them to keep that going this week. I'm going to say 1-0 Wolves. Not the most exciting of games, but Wolves are going to get the win.
What is up, guys? See you here. After last week's capitulation, it's time to really get my head down here and think about this, isn't it? We've been given 5 games. First up is Villa versus Southampton. I'm going to go 1-1, a draw. I don't think either team will win. If a team does win, it'll be Southampton. I know it means nothing because I said 1-1 now. So that's a positive. Next one. Burnley versus Chelsea. We know what Burnley are like. They can be very, very rugged in defence, but Chelsea are Chelsea, aren't they? I can't see anything other than a Chelsea win. I'm going to go 2-0. Wishful thinking, because I do need Burnley to drop some points so Leeds stay up. So you'll see in the next few, this is very Leeds-centric. Next one. Newcastle, Brighton. I went 1-0 Newcastle since they're at home. As much as I need them to lose, I think that's them now, isn't it, really? They've been very, very lucky with the fixtures they've had. As soon as they play a big team, I think they're going to slide. But until then, 1-0 against Brighton. Liverpool, West Ham up next. Liverpool are winning this out, though. We all know they want that title desperately. They want the quadruple. They won one at the weekend. 2-1. It's just a shame if they win the quadruple because I don't think any of us can live with that, can we? Last up, Wolves versus Palace. It's a minging game, that one. It's just like the Villa-Southampton one. It's disgusting. It's a game I don't really want to put myself out there and say. So I'm going with a draw. 1-1. The worst comes to worst here, right? I'm being conservative. We want points. We need points. Points don't mean prizes, but they do mean league positions. So let's make the most of it. So to recap, we have Villa Southampton 1-1. We have Burnley Chelsea 2-0 to Chelsea. We have Newcastle Brighton 1-0 to Newcastle. Liverpool West Ham 2-1. And we have Wolves Palace 1 each. This has to be better than last week. Thank God we're not doing a Leeds game.
Hello, my name's Tony, FMDNA. You can find me on Twitter and on YouTube if you like a bit of Football Manager. The link for that will be in the description below. Right, week 28, Villa versus Southampton. Southampton are my local team, so I've got to go with them. Villa had a good win the other day, 1-0. Saints are in some good run of form, and they had a good win against West Ham. So I'm going to back Southampton, and I'm going to say 2-0 to Southampton. Next up then, Burnley versus Chelsea. Burnley aren't doing too badly. I know they're near the bottom, but they're putting in some good performances. Chelsea will just get the win. They will struggle. I will see this being a 1-0 win to Chelsea. Everything's going off the pitch. I think they'll come good, but it'll just be 1-0. Newcastle versus Brighton. It's got to be a 2-0 win to Newcastle. Eddie Howe's doing a fantastic job. Really turning the team around. And 2-0. Liverpool versus West Ham. West Ham lost against Southampton in the FA Cup. Liverpool, Liverpool. They're just phenomenal. The players they've got. Diaz looks phenomenal. But I still think West Ham are going to score. So I'm going to go Liverpool 3, West Ham 1. Wolves versus Crystal Palace is the toughest one yet because this could go either way. It depends what team turns up. Wolves, if they turn up, that'd be great. If Crystal Palace turn up, that'd be great. If they both turn up, it'd be a draw. So what am I predicting here? It's just a tough one. It's a very, very tough one. I'm going to go with home advantage. I'm going to go 1-0 for Wolves. Right, so that's my predictions. I'm top of the table as it stands at the moment, and I want to stay there. Let me know what you think about my predictions, but that's it from me.
Hey guys, we're doing our games for the FM connection. You can find me on all platforms at Road to Legends Football Chat Show, and FM Jono TV on all platforms, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, the lot, Facebook now for the podcast. Yes, so let's get right into the games. And the first game of the week is Aston Villa versus Southampton, and I think this is going to be a 2-2 draw. Aston Villa got the result in the last game after a bit of a sticky patch after the managerial bunch when Gerrard first came in. But Southampton aren't doing too badly as well. I think they're going to get about mid-table. They lost a few players in the summer, and I thought they were going to struggle. I thought they were going to go down. I said that on this week's podcast. But they've surprised a bit, and I think they're going to definitely stay up this season. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 in that game. Great result for Villa last time out against a very strong Brighton team, though. So Villa could nick it, but I'm going to go for a 2-2. The next game is Burnley versus Chelsea. Burnley have had a bit of a up in form recently. With the games in hand, they could be pushing towards staying up. Sean Dyche doing it again and staying in the Premier League. But I think Chelsea will have too much of them, and I am going for a 3-1 win for Chelsea. I think they'll start to pull away from the pack and get third or fourth guaranteed now. Arsenal are chasing them for that third place, so I reckon. Next we have Newcastle United versus Brighton. Brighton obviously got the loss in the last game, but have had a really good season under Potter. A really underrated manager. I think he should be considered for a top job really soon with what he's done with that Brighton team. But Newcastle have had a massive jump in form. No losses in 5, 4 wins, 1 draw. They're pushing towards safety now, and I reckon they're going to get a draw in this game, and I reckon it is going to be 2-2 as well. Next we have Liverpool versus West Ham United. This would be an interesting game, but I reckon Liverpool will just have too much for a very strong West Ham team who have hit a bit of form after a bit of a dip again. But I think Liverpool will have too much, and I'm going for a 2-1 win to Liverpool. And next up, the last game that we're predicting today is Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Very, very interesting game, this one. Both teams are having a good season. Vieira's doing a very good job at Palace, and Wolves have been really good under their new manager as well. I think if Wolves had that striker to finish the chances, I think they would definitely be an outside of the top 4. I think they could easily get Europe this season, which will be interesting to see. And as I say, Crystal Palace are having a good season under Vieira, and I think this is going to be a good game. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Wolverhampton Wanderers in this. Thanks everyone for watching. This has been my predictions for the FM Connection. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you check out all the other competitors as well for this competition, and we will see you soon for another prediction. You can check me out on all platforms, as I said before, and you've all been legends, and see you later.
Hello everybody, Frankly FM84 here. After a strong performance in Game Week 27, we are back with 5 more predictions for 5 more games in Game Week 28. The first game is Aston Villa against Southampton. Both of these teams winning 2-0 last time out. Villa with a scrappy win against Brighton. Southampton with a good win against Norwich. I think both of these teams are probably evenly matched. I can't separate them. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. The next game is Burnley against Chelsea. Chelsea obviously going through 120 minutes plus penalties against Liverpool. Burnley are picking up points and they are having to scrap for every single one of them. I do think Chelsea are too strong here, and I think Chelsea will win 2-0. The next game is Newcastle against Brighton. Newcastle beat Brentford last time out. They were aided by a red card. Brighton losing to Aston Villa. They were let down by poor finishing. They did have chances. I think they probably could have got something out of the game if they could score goals. I am going to go, though, for a tight and scrappy 1-0 win to Brighton. The next game is Liverpool against West Ham. Liverpool went 120 minutes plus penalties, came out on the right side of the Carabao Cup final. West Ham beat Liverpool at the London Stadium, and they have 2 wins and 2 draws in their last 4 games. I think Liverpool, though, are too strong for West Ham. I think Liverpool at Anfield win 3-1. The last game then is Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Wolves lost the last 2 games by a narrow margin. Palace drew with Burnley. There's lots to like about both, but I think home advantage might be able to spur Wolverhampton Wanderers on to a 2-1 victory. Those then are the 5 predictions for Game Week 28.
How's it going, everyone? GG513 here, and these are my predictions for this week's matches. First up is Aston Villa against Southampton. I am feeling a solid home victory here. Aston Villa, they have been a bit patchy, but I'm sure Steven Gerrard is going to get them back on track. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory for Aston Villa. Next is Burnley against Chelsea, and honestly I can only see one result here. A victory for the away side. Roman Abramovich, of course, a little bit of controversy around him, but I'm sure Chelsea are going to pull the victory out of the bag. I'm going to go for a solid 3-1 victory here for Chelsea. Next up is my beloved Newcastle United playing at home against Brighton, and honestly I can only see one result here. Newcastle United, we are unbeaten in 7 and I expect to make it 8. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory at home. Next is Liverpool against West Ham United, and I'm going to go for an outlier result here. I'm going to go for a shock victory for West Ham United. Liverpool, of course, they are a good side, but honestly Klopp, I think he's overrated, and I think West Ham have enough in their tank to try and cause an upset here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for West Ham. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Crystal Palace. I am going to go for a 1-1 draw. I don't think any team is particularly good here, and I think a draw will be a fair result. Although I'm sure Wolves will probably want a little bit more.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the FM Connection. I am Straight Edge. I am from Straight Edge TV, and I'm going to give you my predictions for the upcoming fixtures for the Premier League for a second week in a row. Firstly, kicking off Leicester versus Leeds. The new manager's got a bit to prove. Leeds are on a bit of a downward spiral at the moment. I'm going to make that a 1-1 draw. Burnley versus Chelsea. Burnley are picking up the pace, so to speak, as things stand at the moment. My beloved Chelsea, we're on a little bit of a downward spiral. We've just lost the Carabao Cup. We need to get back into winning forms. It's going to be a 1-0 victory to Chelsea. Villa versus Southampton. Well, 2 teams, one's hit form, one's getting back into form. I've got that as a Southampton 2-1 victory. Next up, we've got Norwich versus Brentford. 2 teams that are struggling to pick up form, but I think Norwich will pip Brentford to the post. I've got that as a 2-0 victory. Also, we've got Newcastle versus Brighton. A Newcastle victory 3-1 in their favour is what I predict. Wolves versus Palace. It's literally the worst week to try and predict some football scores because these teams are so evenly matched. Wolves versus Palace 1-0. Another difficult prediction here, Liverpool versus West Ham. It could literally go either way. Liverpool need to keep that pressure on Manchester City. Man City didn't deserve to win at the weekend. Liverpool, they've won the Carabao Cup, as we've said earlier on, and I think that they're going to beat West Ham 3-1. Watford versus Arsenal. Arsenal are hitting form left, right and centre at the moment. I'm going to say that Arsenal are going to pick up a 3-0 victory there. The penultimate game is the Manchester derby, Manchester City versus Manchester United. Man United, I don't know what they've done since appointing Ralph Rangnick. The style of play hasn't been as delightful as what they were hoping for. Man City, on the other hand, they, like I said earlier, they didn't deserve to win the game against Everton, but I think they're going to comfortably win at the Manchester derby, and I'm going to say a 2-0 victory there. And the final game, the Monday night kickoff, will be Tottenham versus Everton, and I've got that as a 2-1 victory to Tottenham. They're going to hit some form, and it's going to be a bit scary for the teams that are challenging for the top four, with Tottenham picking up some points in the near future. So they are my predictions for this week's game week. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed everyone else's predictions. You can find me on Straight Edge TV on YouTube, over on Twitter at Straight Edge TV, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching our video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also check out everyone's channel that's taken part today. And please come back again for some more predictions.